Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NFL playoffs. Now, I wouldn't usually consider myself a very sportsy person, but my brother made a video about the NFL playoffs, so I thought I might. We're first going to begin, well, since the season hasn't actually ended yet, we're going to begin with seeing who I think will clinch a playoff spot. Beginning with the AFC, getting the number 7 seed, I think will be the Texans. I think that the Texans will clinch the number 7 seed, finishing at 11-6. Now getting the number 6 seed, I think will be the Chargers. I think they will finish 11-6 as well, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Chargers have the tiebreaker, so they will end up getting the number 6 seed. Getting the number 5 seed will be the Buffalo Bills. I think they'll finish 12-5. And it's just really unfortunate that the Patriots are around, so they won't be able to clinch one of those top four spots because they won't be able to win their own division, which is almost criminal looking at the next spot. The Ravens, who I believe will be able to knock out the Steelers, barely finishing 10-7. At number 3, we have the Jags, or Jaguars, whichever, finishing 12-5. And then at the number 2 seed, I think will be the Broncos, finishing 13-4. And by common sense, or because I mentioned it earlier in the video, you can probably deduce who gets the number 1 seed. That's right.
Baby, the Patriots are back with Drake May. Now on to the NFC, again starting with the number 7 seed. I think getting the number 7 seed will be the Lions, barely making the playoffs at 11-6. At the number 6 seed will be the 49ers, also finishing 11-6, although I believe they have the tiebreaker against the Lions. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Finishing number 5, someone else from that same division, the Rams, finishing 12-5. Now onto the ones who've won their division. At number 4, the Bucks, barely beating out the Panthers, who are currently ahead in their division, finishing at 10-7. At number 3, it's the current Super Bowl champions, the Eagles, finishing 11-6. And the number 2 seed will be the Packers, finishing 11-5, and that one tie. And at number 1, say it with me, baby, it's the Seahawks. They're back with Sam Darnold winning their game against the Rams to take control of the division, finishing at 14-3, winning all of their remaining games. Now on to the actual matchups, beginning with the easy one, the Texans against the Broncos. Obviously, I think the Broncos will win this. The Broncos have won a lot of competitive games instead of actual blowouts, even against really bad teams, but I think they managed to pull off the victory. Here, it's a little more difficult. Jags against Chargers. I think the Chargers barely managed to pull off the victory, although Justin Herbert is a chronic playoff choker, so that I could be wrong, but I think his experience manages to carry them over the edge. And as for this would usually be a really competitive game, and probably will be a really good game, but Lamar Jackson has not been doing as good as usual. So I think the Bills and Josh Allen take this, meaning that the Bills will be 3-0 against the Ravens in the playoffs, or Josh Allen will be 3-0 against Lamar. And then the Chargers will be playing the Patriots, since they're the number 6 seed, and then the Broncos against the Bills. Beginning with the Chargers versus Patriots. This is pretty obvious. Drake May has been playing like a beast. There is no way that the chronic choker Justin Herbert beats them. Broncos versus Bills, we had that matchup last playoffs, I should say, and the Bills won in an absolute blowout. But this time, I think it's going to be a little more close, a little more competitive, but I think the Bills still pull off the victory. And then the NFC. So for this matchup, although the Packers do have the better record, I might just be biased, but I think the Lions will win. Yes, and then the 6th seed versus the 3 seed, 49ers versus Eagles. This is actually a really tough one, but I hate the 49ers, so the Eagles are going to win. Rams versus Bucks.
Bucks just got in because they have a really easy division, even though they really had to fight for it, so I think Rams win this one. And it's kind of criminal that the Rams don't have the 2 seed considering based on record alone, they're better than every other team besides the Seahawks on this, if my prediction is correct, of course. But that's just how the NFL works, so the Lions will be playing the Seahawks, and the Eagles will be playing the Rams. Now beginning with the 1-seeded Seahawks versus the Lions. I think the Seahawks win this one. The Lions just really like to choke in the playoffs. Like the last 2 years they've been in the playoffs, they choked, and they've been worse this year than they were last year. So I don't think that they beat the elite Seahawks. And then Rams versus Eagles. I think this is when the Eagles go down. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, but still, they're not as good as they were last year. So, and the Rams are also elite, almost on the same level as the Seahawks. So I think the Rams pull this off. Now, Patriots versus Bills. If this actually happens, this is going to be a game to watch because, wow. But as for prediction, I feel like this really could go either way. The Bills have the more experienced roster, but the Patriots have the overall more talented roster, and I think talent takes it, so the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. As for Seahawks versus Rams, they've played once this season and the Rams won, but I think that was only because Sam Darnold wasn't playing as good as he could, and I think after that loss he really reflected on it, and he's been better, so I think they're going to win their upcoming matchup against the Rams, and also this potential matchup. The Seahawks are back to the Super Bowl. And I did not intend it like this, but they're playing the Patriots, which, if you don't know, was a former Super Bowl. So, and the Seahawks choked that. But I think the Seahawks won't choke it this time, and they'll become Super Bowl champions. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think down in the comment section.